Starting a dropshipping business and becoming successful with that business was super simple once I learned these 4 easy things. Once I learned these things and applied them to my dropshipping business, it got me to the point of being able to leave my full-time job, travel the world to various different locations, while still being able to make a passive income from my dropshipping business, even on holiday. So I'm sure if you watch this whole video from start to finish and you don't skip, and you implement the exact same things that I'm going to talk about in today's video, you're also going to be able to see success with dropshipping too. So as always, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to get right into it. If you find any value in this video at any point, don't forget to press the like button. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's get right into the video. Alright, so jumping straight into one of the most simplest things that every single beginner needs to know before they start their dropshipping business, which is that they need to understand exactly how dropshipping works. And I know that you're probably watching this right now thinking, Sam, I already know what it is. It's basically where I'm going to list a product on my store. When a customer buys it, the supplier is going to ship it directly to the customer. And you wouldn't be wrong if you said that, but when I say that you need to understand exactly how it works, you need to understand all of the little details that go into running a dropshipping business. For example, the best type of products to sell, the best type of supplies to use, how to build a real e-commerce brand, how to make sure that you're going to be able to generate sales from your dropshipping business over the long term. There's so many small details that go into running a dropshipping business, but because people assume that they already know what it is, they don't spend any time researching all of these little details that's going to help them see success over the next 2, 3, 4 years with their dropshipping website. And this is something that I had to learn on my own journey. I had to make sure that I was spending time to research everything that went into this type of business model so that I could execute it in the best possible way. Alright, so jumping straight into one of the first things that I had to do when it came to building up my dropshipping business, which is that I needed to be results driven. And what this means is that I needed to focus on accomplishing one single result before I moved on to the next. So for example, when it came to me starting my first ever e-commerce store, I was trying to accomplish 5 different results at the same time. And because I was an amateur when it came to the whole thing, I wasn't successful with any one of them because my focus was split and divided between 5 different objectives and 5 different goals. However, when I put all my focus into accomplishing my first sale and trying to get that result, that's when I was now able to move on to the next goal or the next result, which was me trying to get my first 5 sales and then my first 10 sales, so on and so forth. But because I was taking incremental steps when it came to building up my dropshipping business, and I wasn't trying to buy a Lamborghini with the profits that I was making from my business straight away, I was able to focus on the right things in that moment. And with this level of clarity that I had, I was now able to focus and figure out what was the most important things that I needed to do with my business. And one of the first things was increasing my conversion rate. And as you can see from the back end of the Shopify store that I'm currently running, the conversion rate is around 3.51%. And for those of you that don't know exactly what the conversion rate is, it's essentially the percentage that's going to show you the amount of people that visited your website and actually bought the product from you. And it goes without saying that if you're able to increase this number, you're going to be able to also increase the amount of sales that you're going to make. And the main point that I'm trying to make with all of this is that because I was able to put priority on being results driven, I was now able to focus on the most important things that I should focus on. And one of the most important things when it comes to running any e-commerce business is increasing the conversion rate. But I wouldn't have necessarily figured that out if I had my attention divided in so many different areas. So make sure that if you're currently at the start of your own journey, you remove all of the unnecessary distractions that's not necessarily bringing any results to your business, and you put your attention on the most important things that's going to bring the biggest results. Okay, so moving on to the second thing that I did that allowed me to generate consistent sales from my dropshipping business, and it just made the whole process a lot more easier, is by focusing on selling items that I knew customers will come back and buy again and again and again. So I learned in the early days that one of the cheat codes when it comes to building a physical product business is by selling items that you know once a customer buys from you, there's a high chance that they're going to want to buy the product again. Structuring your business in this way and selling these type of products is going to somewhat guarantee that you're going to be able to make money from your business and the products that you're selling over a consistent period of time. And the way that I like to monitor whether or not I'm doing a good job of this is by looking at the returning customer rate. Similar to the conversion rate, this is another important number that you need to look out for, because the more you're able to increase this number, again, you're guaranteeing that you're going to be able to bring some sort of revenue into your business. So as you can see with this store, I've currently got a 12.41% returning customer rate, and the returning customers can be seen with this blue line over here. As you can see, it's going in a steady upwards direction. Now, it's not as dramatic as the first time buyers, as you can see from the purple line, but of course the number one goal when it comes to running an e-commerce business is to increase the amount of first time buyers that you're getting, because the more you're able to increase the first time buyers, the more likely those first time buyers are going to turn into returning customers. So if you're currently in the process of building your own dropshipping store, not only do you need to focus on the type of items that you're selling and making sure that you're selling an item that people want to come back and buy again, but you also want to make sure that you're offering an amazing service to the people that buy from you, because they're going to recommend you to other people and they're also going to come back and buy the product if they need it again. So moving on to the next most important thing that every single beginner needs to make sure that they're doing, which is designing their website website in the right way. Now, there's so many different elements to this. There's so many different things that go into it, but I've broken it down into these 4 simple things right here. One of the first things is that you want to make sure that you've got a fast website. You need to make sure that the site loading speed for your dropshipping store is really quick, because if a customer lands on your page and it takes 5, 10, 20 seconds for a simple page to load, then the first thing they're going to do is bounce off and go to another website. So it's very important that you check your site loading speed and you get it down to the least amount of time. You can check this in the back end of your Shopify account, and you can also use various different third-party websites to check this. But again, I would say that this is one of the most important things that you need to do, because if you're able to reduce the site loading speed, you're going to be able to ultimately make more money. The next mistake that I see a lot of people making is that they're not offering their customers free shipping. So in my opinion, I don't think it makes any sense to charge the customer an extra shipping amount when you can include that amount into the actual product price, because by doing it this way, you're going to be able to psychologically convince the customer that they're getting a bargain, because they're not going to have to pay for any shipping. This is one of the many psychological pricing tactics that you should be using. Try and make sure that you're charging the customer just one single amount, and any additional fees that they need to pay, try and include it in that one single product price. The next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is building your store on a foundation of multiple different products. You want to make sure that you've got a high quantity available, but you also want to make sure that you've got multiple different products available too, because this is going to put you in a great position when it comes to having various different upsells. As long as you're selling products from one category and one niche, when a customer buys one item from you, you're now going to be able to sell maybe 2, 3 different products to them that they actually need. But the only way that you're going to be in the situation where you're going to be able to upsell to your customers is if you've got high quantity as well as multiple different products available. Another mistake that I see so many beginners making is that whenever I go into their product page, they've got so much unnecessary information that the customer doesn't even need. Or they're putting unnecessary images on the product page that slows down the website and makes the customer have to scroll all the way down to the bottom just for them to add the item to their basket. For me personally, with all of the e-commerce stores that I run, I always try to give the customer the least amount of information, but also making sure that I'm giving them all the information they need. If you're able to find this balance, you're going to be able to turn a lot more customers from non-paying customers into paying customers. So those are the main things that I personally had to learn on my journey when it came to starting my dropshipping store. Now, of course, there's so much more that goes into it. I just wanted to give you guys the basic things that allowed me to get to the point of thinking that a dropshipping business was easy, because at the start it wasn't always easy, and that's the reason why I decided to make this video today, just to kind of clarify a lot of the basic things that you guys need to go away and implement in your own business. But if you want to sign up to a completely free webinar where I explain my story in a little bit more detail and how I was able to get to my first $100,000 in profit with one of my first ever Shopify stores, then you can sign up for that free webinar by clicking the first link in the description down below. But if you want to watch another YouTube video that I made not too long ago where I broke down some other useful tips that got me to the point of being able to leave my full-time job and do e-commerce full-time, I'm going to leave that video right there. Make sure you check that video out straight after this one, because it's already helped out so many people, and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.